5D happiness. So this is a important aspect of your charge level because the happier you are, the more charged up you feel. So let's take a look at what this means. We're first going to start out with number one, and it's not in any order, but money. So if you ever heard, well, money doesn't buy happiness. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty happy on vacation. Pretty happy when I buy those things that I want. So the thing though is that money is definitely a part of happiness. It's just not the full picture. And money alone is just one dimension of happiness. And this video is 7D happiness. So 7 dimensions of happiness. So if you want to just have one dimension, then yeah, just stick with money and that's it. Yet, as we see with people, time and time again, it's not the full fulfillment that they're looking for. And this is really deconstructing the word happiness because it needs more specificity. It needs more clarity. It's too general right now, and that's why there's a lot of debate about it. So, number one, happiness, absolutely a part of happiness. Excuse me, money, absolutely a part of happiness. Number two, freedom. So, being able to do what you want when you want to do it, absolutely a part of happiness. Now, the interesting thing here is that it's not one set and fast rule for everyone. For some people, maybe they need a smaller amount of money to feel happy. It really depends on the person. Some people, they're going to feel their quota of happiness at a higher level. So it's not about this one size fits all. It's really about setting the categories and then allowing you to fill them in based on what it feels best for you. And also, some people are going to have different values at the top of their list. Like for me, freedom is the top of my list. That's being able to choose what I want to do when I want to do it. That's, if I had to choose, that's towards the top. So what you'll find is that there's certain ones that are the top for you. Number three is purpose. So having a purpose, feeling connected to your missions, absolutely a part of happiness, because you can have the money and the freedom, and I see that a lot of times in the research, and I've been through it myself, but without the purpose, it's like, it feels like something's missing because something is. It's only 2 dimensions of happiness. Okay? Then it's the people, because you can have the money, you could have the freedom, you could have the purpose, but if you don't have the people, it's a lonely journey. It's a solo journey. It's a lone wolf. So having the right people around you is definitely a part of the happiness. And it's really up to you how many people that is. Some people it's just a few, a close circle of friends. Some people it's more. It's whatever it means to you. And each of these, as you can see, it's like they have their own charge level on the color scale. And depending on where you're at, you might be higher up on one, might be lower ones. So this is used as an analysis tool to get an idea of what aspect of happiness you're missing or you can boost. And so let's take a look at progression. So this is another one part of happiness as well, because we know that there's times when people are building a business, you kind of think of like the traditional like startup founder where they don't have the money, they don't have the freedom because they're just working all the time. Probably have the purpose, maybe don't have the people, but the progression, you see the change. Okay, it's moving in the right direction, it's improving, it's better than it was last month. So that's a big part of happiness. And oftentimes what we see too is that if a person has accomplished the things that they want in their business, but if they're not progressing, then it's lacking. And it's kind of that concept of entropy, is that if we're not growing, we're dying. And that's just ingrained in who we are as human beings, so we want to progress in some way. And that may change over time. The way that is expressed changes over time, yet continual expression is key to happiness. And then 6 is possessions. So it absolutely has a level of happiness. Now, it may be different for different people, of course, yet if you take your version of yourself and you have all these different items, and then you don't have any possessions, you have to go to the library each time to do your work, then there's going to be a different level of happiness. Now, of course, the caveat with this is that you can use your brain and your emotional state to find happiness in any environment. It's the idea. Yet what we're doing here is saying, okay, let's build the business around your genius so that it's most efficient, and let's take into account the charge level of these different areas so that it's so that your baseline level is green or above. So the things in your life are full, and so you have a cup that's overflowing, and you're giving from that place of abundance. And the seventh one we have here is appreciation. So what we see definitely in the research is that if a person has the money, they have the freedom, maybe they have the cause, they got the people around them, they're progressing forward, they got things they need with their possessions. But if they're not appreciating it, then it all feels like it's not enough. And definitely see this because in business, unless you're literally the richest person in the world, then there's always somebody who has more money. There's always a bigger business. And if appreciation isn't in the fold, isn't brought in here, then it's always a comparison game. It's never enough. It's never peace. And ultimately, even though a person has all of these things, it brings them into the red state instead of bringing them into the blue state of peace. So appreciation is so key here, of appreciating what you have and wanting to grow, wanting to do more, wanting to continue to progress, while also appreciating where a person's at. And ultimately, this is about coming to the point of peace. Being at peace with where we are now, being excited about where we're going in the future, and working with the right people at the right time in the right way to follow our genius path. So take a look for yourself. And what I invite you to do is to put each of these in your playbook and put a color scale. Where's each one at right now? And then pick one. Pick one that you want to boost. And use the GPS method to follow which one that is for you. It might be the lowest one. It actually might not. It might be kind of a medium one that you can just feel needs a boost. And what might happen there is, well, if that's what the signal that you're getting, follow that, because then that's the path through. And as you boost that up, you'll be more and more complete with your happiness, which also creates more of a stable, strong person mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And ultimately, that's what we're looking to do, is to be stable, strong people who are sharing our genius, making the world a better place. I'll see you next video.